Fear is what keeps you alive, but you can't let it control you. It guides you. It reminds you, get your head down, don't do something stupid, don't be the hero. You have to get, from here to there without dying in order to get from here to there. So fear helps you. It helps guide you. But you also have to move through your fear and achieve your mission, understanding ultimately that what you're scared of may happen, but you still have to do your job.
Lieutenant Colonel William Swenson was awarded the Medal of Honor and recognized for extraordinary heroism during Operation Baribosa II in Afghanistan. Where outnumbered and under fire, he repeatedly risked his life to save others. After the battle, which claimed the lives of 15 coalition and ANSAF deaths, William spoke out against command decisions, gave an after-action report that offered the opportunity to make things better for the next generation. The fact that, as a living Medal of Honor recipient, you've seen and participated in something that, most never will, and you get to tell a very personal testimony of what it was like on a day like what you experienced.
One of the things that a lot of people who were in Afghanistan in that sort of 2007, 8, 9, 10 period of time, what they'll reflect on was we'd lost a lot of our momentum politically behind what we were doing in Afghanistan. There was a lot of political frustration with what was happening on the battlefield, on the ground, where we were getting objectively. We didn't really have the takeaways that we wanted from that war. Still a very important mission, and it was becoming more and more kinetic, more and more violent. The enemy was getting better and better at fighting back.
ABC News has obtained never-before-seen video of a ferocious battle. It shows an enemy well-trained, organized, and prepared.
The Taliban have a ready supply of thousands of recruits for a holy war against the U.S. military.
But when I came into country, my mission set was specifically to work with the Afghan National Security Forces. We became a very effective force in the sense that we had those police authorities, we could move quickly, and most importantly, my guys were from their region. So that meant that they actually had connections to the community. That gave us legitimacy in the community as well as an unfettered ability to ferret out the actual enemy that was a threat to both the United States as well as the Afghan people.
Now what's the mission for you guys?
Mission 1 was to approach that first village, project legitimacy, authority, and power of the Afghan government. Mission went well. The second operation, which unfortunately it's a compromised operation, they knew we were coming. We told them we were coming. We told them what day we were coming on. They'd already put decoys out on the road that looked like IEDs to stall us, to stop our ground movement with vehicles. They had turned off all the lights in the village. As we're going into the village, we encounter fire, which we had expected and we'd planned for. What was different about the fire that we were experiencing was it was immediate, it was furious, it was planned, it was coordinated, and it was effective. This is where we start getting into some of the problems. We had pre-planned artillery targets. The local coalition partners would not fire that target for us.
Which are Afghan?
Which are Americans.
Americans. Okay.
And this is a problem because it's a pre-coordinated target. As a professional warfighter, I have certain capabilities that I expect to be there, kind of like brakes on a car.
Yeah.
If you go for the brakes, you expect them to be there. If the brakes aren't there, that's a problem. Now we don't have our pre-planned targets that were going to provide us our screen to withdraw. We can't fire on the actual known enemy locations because they're in the village. They're using the village as cover. And now we're starting to take casualties. And this is decisive fire. It's different. It's effective. It's continuous. Call in the helicopters. Helicopters are unavailable. They're tasked out somewhere else. So now the brakes aren't working, the gas is broken, and the steering wheel is coming loose. Operation's falling apart. And before you know it, the Marine Corps major who's in charge of the operation, ultimately, he gets shot. His sergeant major gets a massive concussion from our RPG that hits right next to his head. The Afghans that are with us, killed. Interpreters, dead. You start racking up serious casualties. And during all this, the enemy is actually flanking us, which is something new. It's different. We're not used to being flanked. Usually the enemy doesn't want to maneuver on you because they know if they do, they're exposed, and the helicopters will eventually clean them up, or we'll drop artillery, or we'll outflank them. In this case, they knew that they had taken the day. How do we do a mass casualty evacuation under direct fire of the enemy? And we have to maneuver across effectively a kilometer of open space. As we were moving back, taking more and more casualties, we got helicopter support coming on board. Usually when helicopters come on board, Taliban stops firing. Yeah, they kept shooting. One of the things that I found very interesting about my specific unit, again, my guys are coming from the very valleys they're fighting in. Their cousins are sometimes shooting at them. They said, why are the Americans not more aggressive? Why do you tolerate what you do? Why are the B-52s not carpet bombing like the Soviets did? Now, obviously, the ethical considerations of that is, well, that was savagery, and we were much more focused and surgical in our application of force and violence. But they had a point. To stop the fighting, you have to win. You have to show authority. You have to show capacity. And the ROE, as well-intentioned as it was wrong. It stopped us from achieving the goals, and it stopped us from protecting our service members, and it stopped us from ultimately making Afghanistan a better place.
One of the things that you've been credited for is the courage to speak up against some of those failures. What did they look like, and how was that received?